Good morning. Good morning. I'm testing. Good morning. I'm so glad to see everybody. It's telling me that the meeting is being recorded. If you didn't know that, the meeting is being recorded. And I'm going to tell it to continue now. Continue. Good morning. Welcome to the live. How do you make that go away? No. Oh, you click on it. Duh. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to the live in-person and live Zoom worship service of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Riverside. I'm so glad to see old and new faces. I'm your worship associate. I'm supposed to say that later. Wait a minute. Our doors are open and we will continue live streaming and posting these services on our YouTube channel for our virtual attendees. I'm Pat Kawunder, a member of the worship committee, except I'm not, and I will be one of your worship associates today. Other members of the worship committee you will hear from include our music producer coordinator, Alec Peck. We welcome you to join us this morning with an open mind and an open heart, and with muted electronic devices, please. Although our doors are open, the pandemic is not over. So while we're here, please keep your masks on. I thought there was a sign that said if you're vaccinated, you don't need a mask. I'm sorry? After June 15th. Okay, please keep your mask on and socially distance. We can speak in normal tones, but singing or chanting creates an increased risk of airborne exposure. So we ask you to refrain from singing for the time being. We invite those of you in the sanctuary to sit back and enjoy listening. For those of you at home, sing your hearts out. We open today's service with these words from Frederick Buechner. The life I touch for good or ill will touch another life, and that in turn another. Until who knows where the trembling stops, or in what place will my touch be felt. And now I invite you to sit back and take a long, slow, deep breath as we move into our worship hour. For our call to worship, you are welcome to read with me the mission statement of our church. Our mission is to foster a diverse religious community that celebrates life, affirms the individual, encourages spiritual growth and open thought, and works to advance social justice and environmental sustainability. This morning, we are pleased to welcome UUCR member Linda VanVoorhis to speak with us on what is oneness really, making oneness real through meditation. Linda has been a member of UUCR since 1997. She first came to the church looking for community and support and found much more than that. Her spiritual background is based on a Native American and Taoist philosophy founded in the early 70s with Scientology. It has evolved ever since. After studying A Course in Miracles, she found the desire to speak at the pulpit. She has found that as her spiritual sense of self has evolved, she has more to share with others. Linda says, after defining what oneness could be, I will offer the opportunity to the possibility of experiencing oneness through a meditation I wrote. We have two lightings of sacred flames. The first is the occupied Indigenous Peoples Remembrance Candle. The second is the lighting of our own chalice, the symbol of our faith. We walk upon the traditional territories of diverse and sovereign peoples, the original people of this land, who continue to cry out for justice and self-determination. This spot we occupy was first the sacred space of several groups of California Indians, including the Cahuilla, the Cupeño, and the Serrano. We, the Universalist Unitarian Church of Riverside, light this sacred flame as the stewards of this sacred and holy place. Thank you, Bill. We are blessed with the space and opportunity to strive to live out our common principles, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to be a part of the world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Let these thoughts carry us forth as we journey and worship together. Today's reading of the Chalice Lighting is by Tara Branch. The spiritual path is not a solo endeavor. In fact, the very notion of a self who is trying to free her or himself is a delusion. We are in it together, and the company of spiritual friends helps us to realize our interconnectedness. Our opening hymn this morning is Fire of Commitment. For those in the sanctuary, please sit back and enjoy the hymn, but please do not sing along.
Sets our mind and soul ablaze.
Before we welcome our guests, I'd like to welcome the people who are joining us on Zoom. Adam, would you tell us who's on Zoom today? Thank you. We have a tradition at UUCR. We like to welcome those who are visitors or perhaps returning after some time away. But we know it can be uncomfortable to stand up and speak in front of others, and we won't ask you to do something that we wouldn't do ourselves. So I'm going to choose some unsuspecting soul who's been here a while to tell us your name and how you found out about our church. We ask you to hold the mic close to your face and speak into it directly and clearly so everyone can hear. I'm choosing Tom Blackburn. Thrilled he is, you could tell. Drop your mask, please.
Is this on? Okay, well, let's see. I got introduced to the church something over 60 years ago when I was going to the University of Idaho. And the professor there started a shuttle from Moscow, Idaho, over to Renton, Washington, where there was a university fellowship. So I was attracted to its open-mindedness and freedom of thought. And I've tend to move around this country every 20 years or so and look up the Unitarian Church, the local one, and attend. So here I am 60, 70 years later. Thank you.
Any visitors want to raise your hand and tell us who you are? We would really like you to do that.
Thanks. I'm Cynthia Carr, and I was on Zoom. I don't know how to use microphones. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, because of the pandemic, I found myself working from home now permanently, and I realized I'm not leaving my house to sleep. So I thought I ought to maybe join the church. Here I am.
Yay. Welcome.
Seeing no other hands, if there's someone online who would like to introduce themselves, please raise your hands and I will call on you. No? Okay. For new guests, our visitors book in the parish hall. Please sign it before you leave so that we can know you were here and can let you know about upcoming events. For those online, I just right-clicked, excuse me. Okay. Alec. I don't know how I got it, but can you make it go away? There. Okay. For those online, the best way to get added to the mailing list is to email the church office at admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. It's not responding. It's not going up when I scroll.
You need to invite me up now.
Okay, Alec is going to come up and do announcements now.
Thanks, Pat. Thank you, Pat. We do have some announcements we'd like to share with you today. During the service, we're going to mention several websites, email addresses, phone numbers, and the like. And at the end of the service, we're going to leave up a slide with that information in case you miss it when we say it, and that information is also available on our website. The UUCR newsletter comes out on the 1st of every month by email and by request by postal mail. So you should have gotten it earlier this week. If you feel that you have something that is newsworthy or that you'd like to contribute, please email uuchurchofriverside.calendar@gmail.com, or you can call the church office at 951-686-6515. If you would like to be added to the mailing list, if you did not receive that newsletter earlier this week, please contact the church office. We have a few upcoming events that we'd like to let you know about. The Women's Federation will be meeting on June 12th at 1 p.m. in Parish Hall outside. Then we have the Saturday matinee. The location is still to be determined. However, that is also going to be on June 12th, later that day at 4 p.m. And on June 13th, the following Sunday, we have the congressional meeting here in the sanctuary. There is a Social and Environmental Justice Committee meeting today at 1 o'clock. So if you are interested in participating in the Social and Environmental Justice Committee, please be here. I believe that's out in Parish Hall at 1 o'clock. The topic is the little free pantry. All right. Well, anyway, now we have our joys and concerns. Today is the first Sunday of the month where we'll be sharing our joys and concerns with each other. First, we'll be reading the joys and concerns that we received throughout the last month. Those can be sent to us by email. Do we have, I'm not sure if we have any joys and concerns. There are none written in the book, but if there's anybody here in the sanctuary who would like to share a joy or a concern, do we have the handheld microphone that we can go around with? Great.
Hi, I meant to write this and I didn't. But how's this? Better? Okay. I meant to write it, but I didn't get it written down. My real joy in I've forgotten the name, Attuning Our Bodies presentation with Doug Owens, with the bells and the gongs. I was deeply moved. The meditation meant a tremendous amount to me, and I just want to express that. Thank you very much.
I'll throw in what I've often done before. For joy and concern for our first responders around the world. Flood, drought. We've got some issues around here, and the guys who dig people out of the rubble. Just praying that whatever regenerates their souls keeps going.
I'm Nick. I'm a Universalist Unitarian. I talked with my physical medicine doctor. I've been having back issues. Used to be a problem, but now it's just an issue. It looks like we're going to be doing some back surgery sometime later this year. I'll be people having their prayers updated. Hopefully this concern will become a joy later on.
So I'm Grace, and I have a concern. One of my good friends is going through a huge battle with addiction right now, and I'd appreciate your thoughts.
Joy for our friend Bonnie, who is taking a step backwards, I think, but for the phenomenal work she has done over the years. Joy and thankfulness.
Thank you, everybody, for sharing. Bill will now place a stone in our water chalice as a symbolic recognition of those concerns shared and of all those cares and concerns held close and not shared.
Rough and down, because life very seldom moves you. When life is trying to be, it's never one thing. It's always more than one. What a service. Smooth, polished. Everything that not surround us with. The good things that get worked on become better. May it raise the water. Also, for those of us who think it's quarantine is freeing our pain and our joy in a way that works in this. Your hopes and your joys and your fears are created in love.
May we remember those who have spoken, those they have named, and those we hold silent in our hearts. Our hymn now is Spirit of Life. If you are in the sanctuary, I invite you to sit back, close your eyes, and listen quietly.
Rings
So we have an extra couple announcements, and we missed our announcement from Adam from the Social Justice Committee. But before we hear from Adam, we're going to have Linda give us a short announcement, and then you'll hear about the Social Justice Committee. Please invite Linda. Thank you.
Thanks, Alec. Some years ago, in the late 90s through, I don't know, 2005 or so, we had a very active pagan group here. And during that time, one of the things we did regularly was an acknowledgement of the solstice. Due to the fact that we've all been isolated in our houses for so long, we decided that perhaps this would be a really good time to revive that. Part of that is a drum circle. So on the solstice, January 21st at 5 p.m., we are going to have a potluck and a drum circle over at Pat Kawander's house. If you're interested, please see her for the address. You do not need drums. I have a quantity of drums and other toys if you're interested. You don't need to be musically inclined, particularly, perhaps being able to hold the beat a little bit, but even beyond that, you don't need to be musically inclined. And it is an amazing reflection of what I'm going to speak about today, which is the connectedness of individuals. It's an amazing experience. So you are welcome to come. Thank you. Yes, June 21st. You're welcome. If you have any questions, please see me after the service. And I believe Adam is coming up.
I want to make a quick announcement. The Social and Environmental Justice Committee, we've got a partnership with the City of Riverside to do this Little Free Pantry project, which is similar to the Little Free Libraries that you've seen in communities, but these are pantry items, food, and other types of things that people may need. Yesterday, some members of our church, you can see, decorated a little pantry that we have put up on this side of the church over here where the fence is. And so after service, I'd like to invite everybody to come out. We're going to unveil it, take a couple pictures to send to the city and whatnot, but let everybody come and check it out. This is a pantry item so people can take what they need. If you want to donate stuff, just bring stuff by and put it in there for somebody to come along and take. So it should be run total organically, but just a way that we can offer some place for the community to get their needs. Eventually, we'll also have a little free library right underneath it, I believe underneath it, but right near there that people can also get books. You can put books that you're done with there for others to read as well. So join us soon after service, meet on the little lawn right on the other side of this window here. All right, thank you.
Unfortunately, our treasurer, Dinah Rowe, cannot be here with us today, so I will be telling you about sharing our treasure. This portion of our service is how we fund all that we do to administer and to care for our congregation and our beloved historic church, and to ensure that we are able to safely, when we are able to safely reopen again, that we will be here to welcome you all back. You can mail your pledge and donations to the church office, please no cash. Our church office address is shown here, and you may also donate to the QR code on the church website and also in the newsletter. We have Stater Brothers cards for your grocery shopping pleasure, and also which earns the church a percentage of what you buy. We will have Stater's cards each Sunday, and you may also contact the church office to purchase Stater Brothers cards. The church office email is admin@uuchurchofriverside.org. Another way that you can help is by making purchases through Amazon by going to smile.amazon.com. Be sure to have the Smile option and choose Universalist Unitarian Church as your charity. We receive 0.5% of your qualifying purchases, And while we have them, by using an Amazon script card, we also receive a percentage from that. At this time, we'd like to invite the ushers to come forward. Please donate as the Spirit moves you by whatever means works best for you. Thank you for your generosity, and for those who give of their time and their talent, thank you for your generous care and attention. Thank you very much, Bill and Bill. Our next hymn is From You I Receive. Please sit back quietly and enjoy.
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, from this we live. From you I receive.
Our meditation today is by Dr. Bern Brown, and Linda VanVoorhis, our honored speaker, will be taking over from there. Linda?
Thank you, Pat. I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel heard and valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and when they can derive sustenance and strength from the relationship. Now let us pause for a moment of silence. My sermon today is about, actually, it's not a sermon. Your adventure today is about oneness and connection. One of the basic tenets of the Course in Miracles is just that. When somebody asks me what is a Course in Miracles, I will tell them basically either you come from a place of fear or you come from a place of love. And beyond that, all of the choices we make in this world are about that. And for joy and happiness, obviously the choices are much better if you choose love rather than fear. The Course of Miracles is a course on helping you achieve that, because we do have many challenges today in being able to look at what's happening around us and still be able to feel love in our hearts for everybody. So in order to do that, I am offering you a meditation on oneness through the experience of connection. I think that at first glance, oneness is a very nebulous thing. On the other hand, people who've experienced it, even for a moment, with their fellow humans, they say they would choose to love permanently in this state of mind. Usually, it's defined as a blissful sensation, though generally quite fleeting, overcome with the joy and feelings of intense connection. In essence, oneness is a feeling of interconnectedness, an overcoming of boundaries or dividers. It is usually experienced as an intense heart opening and an awareness of the inherent goodness of all beings. We gain the ability to see positive energy everywhere, in everything, and everyone in this state of mind. Too often, concepts like oneness seem to be seen as something that belongs to a particular group. Organized religions, spiritual seekers, or New Age devotees tend to claim oneness is something that is a privilege for only their group. But oneness is not something that is reserved for a particular thought system. Rather, this awesome state of mind can occur as a spontaneous experience to what seems the ordinary life events. Walking in nature, creating a poem, a glance of a photo that expresses a personal connection to life. These allow us to drop the everyday barriers we put up between each other. There is no need at all to belong to a particular group to experience oneness or connection. As an example, environmental philosopher Glenn Albrecht describes oneness with nature as a feeling where the boundaries between the self and the rest of nature are obliterated and a deep sense of peace and connectedness pervades. All we have to do is to let go of our barriers and reach out. I personally believe that it's possible to experience a state of neither feeling want nor needing anything, but just feeling emotions like love, appreciation, and peace by purposely finding ways to drop the barriers. I am offering you this morning a meditation in connection, not only to each other, but the universe that is all around us, which is just as important to have a oneness with. We are again at a point where in our history, where though our fears and through our fears and selfishness, we are threatening our own survival. In opening yourselves up to really experience this process, please open your hearts and minds and be willing to let go of any resistance you might have to this meditation. And in return, you may find peace. So please sit back, get comfortable, put your feet firmly on the ground, and open your hands, resting on your legs or your seat. Close your eyes if they are not already closed. Feel the dark embrace around you, a safe, comfortable, familiar place. From this place of dark, as if you were looking down a tunnel, you see a light pulsing. The light could be any color, a mix of colors, or no color. Focus on this light. Follow this light into the center of yourself. This light feels different than the light of the world It is pulsing. It is alive. It is warm. It may be a pure bright white light, or maybe a warm yellowish light. It expands all around you. You focus on this light, feeling it touch you. Just experience the light. This light is you. From this place of light, you reach out down to the earth beneath you. With your feet, feel the ground that is beneath you. Feel the unique, rich brown of the earth. Reach deeper past the surface of the earth, deep into the living, breathing earth. There are living things in this earth, not just bugs and other things that make the richest of the earth, but also minerals that give life. Not just to us, but other living things on this earth. You reach out and feel that energy. You feel that aliveness as the energy of the earth. You realize that that light is also you and is connected to the energy of this earth. You reach out and feel that connection. Holding that connection in your awareness, reach out to the sky, into the air. Find the top of a mountain or a cloud to sit on. Even the high branch of a tree. Someplace where you are above the earth, but still in touch with the earth. Feel the wind in your face, the warmth of the sun. Recognize that these also have an energy and a light of their own. Connect with that energy. Keeping all of these connections of light and energy, you fall into the depths of the ocean, feeling a light as a feather floating down into the water, amazed at the color of the water, all of the life that moves through you as you go down, down. Feel the pressure of the water on your skin and how being in the wetness feels different than in the air, fire, or the connection of the earth. But you still feel the energy and the light and the life of the water. Reach out and connect your energy with that light of the water. You recognize you have connected your energy with the elements of the world with your light. Keeping that awareness of that energy, find a tree, a flower, or a plant you have a particular energy for. Reach out and touch, feel, smell that plant. Is it smooth, soft, velvety? Is it rough or prickly? How does it smell? Or does it smell? Notice that plant has an energy of its own, surrounding and filling it. You connect to this energy as you have the others. continuing to hold on to these connections with your own light. Find an animal that you have empathy for. You reach out to the animal and touch it. Feel its texture of its exterior. It might be hair, or it might be scales. It might be skin. Feel its warmth or its coolness. You might cuddle with it, or you might respect its space. Reaching out, find its light, its energy, and feel its pulsing. Include that connection with all of the other connections that you have made in this journey. Keeping your eyes closed, maintaining all of these connections of energy, you come back to this room. You reach out to the person next to you. And in this case, in this time, it's not physical, it's a mental reach out. Breathe them in. Mentally hold their hand. Find the aura that surrounds them. What color is it? Reach out and connect with their energy and their light. Feel that this person is pulsing not only with their own light, but with the light of all their connections they have gathered to all things. Know that you are a part of their energy as they are a part of yours. Feel that energy. Now, holding all these connections, reach back inside yourself. Notice that within all these connections, permeating them, is another light. Feel the immense energy of that light. Notice the overwhelming depth of the feeling of love that emits from this light. Touch the energy, feel the emotions coming from not only this, but the energy of all the other beings you have reached out to today. Know that this is a creative energy that connects all things. This is the oneness to which we all belong. This is love. Through this intense energy of love, you are connected. Whether you perceive this connection as with the energy of the universe, or a higher power, or just all the living things on earth. Whether your life is in a place of great joy or a place of deepest pain, or you are overrun with feelings of loneliness, this connection of love and light is always with you. When you are ready, start the process of returning to this room. Bring with you the connections you have made as you return. As you go about your day today, continue to hold on to these connections. All right, Alex, how do I get to the benediction? Wait a minute, next slide, click. Nope. I got it. Thank you. And I'm going to change that to our last hymn. Our closing hymn is Wo Ya Ya. Close your eyes and please listen quietly.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within
a quote by Sandra Day O'Neill. "We don't accomplish anything in this world alone, and whatever happens is a result of the whole tapestry of one's life and all the weaving of individual threads from one to another that creates something." Namaste, amen, and blessed be. And I would like to add that the Women's Federation this month is actually not going to be here. It's going to be at Harriet's house, and Pat will give you the information.
Thank you, Linda. I also want to say, if you're a woman in this church, you should come to the luncheon next Saturday at Harriet's house. It's women's fed, and we have a great time. The lunch is catered by our Robert, and I just need to know how many people are coming so we have enough chairs. But each one of you, consider yourself personally invited to come if you're not already there. Two more things. One, Fern Thompson, our beloved Fern Thompson, let a feral cat into her house, and it went into the upstairs closet and had 6 kittens. She wants homes for these kittens. She'll love them to death, so they'll be the best cat you'll ever have. Seriously, please, she wants homes for these 6 kittens. And lastly, I want to call your attention to do historical display boards on view this morning in the parish hall, highlighting surprising congregational activities from years past. One shows highlights from the annual Universalist Unitarian Association General Assembly, which was held in Long Beach, California in 2004. The board there has pictures of our congregation attending the UU annual convention in Long Beach. It was great. See how many people you can identify. The other display explains our 2005 holiday outreach plan, sharing our spirit at Thanksgiving and Christmas in deserving but needy families in our community. Please take time to learn some of our UUCR history after service and enjoy fellowship during coffee hour. Thank you. I'll get better at this. Thank you, Linda VanVoorhis, for sharing your valuable time and insights with us this morning. It is sincerely appreciated, and we look forward to hearing from you again. We're going to have about 10 to 15 minute Q&A with Linda following the service. Be aware, this will be included on the video that is posted. This is a transition for us, trying to figure out how to combine live and Zoom. Please be patient and we'll figure it out. The contact information is now going to be up.
So does anybody have any questions? Tinka.
I don't actually have a question, but I thought this might be a good opportunity for you to share, for anybody who might be interested in the Course of Miracles, if it is where and when they might come together.
At this time, the Course of Miracles is meeting next door in the annex at 11 a.m. on Fridays. If that is a problem for you, please contact me or see me after the service. We are very flexible, and if you happen to be working during that time, we totally understand. Those of us who are attending right now are retired, so it doesn't matter, but we will gladly accommodate you so that you can come.
And I also wanted to add, for those people who are newer, that the Course of Miracles was brought to our church as a course of study by a Reverend Cynthia Kane, and this was back in the late 90s. And so
Many of us studied with her and then have continued on. And it's become very meaningful in living your life, living our lives, and dealing with all that life has to offer and to challenge you with.
Thank you, Tinka. Lee.
Thank you, Linda. Noticed recently Reza Aslan published a book called God, A Human Biography, and he reviews the history of human ideas of divinity, one of a large literature of that sort of thing. And he argues that that one of the biggest advances that's to come in the future in the history of religion is a moving away from a humanized or an anthropomorphized vision of the deity to an equation of the deity with the universe itself. It's a sort of a pantheistic version. And do you think that that relates kind of closely to what you talked about today?
I do. I will first have to state the Course of Miracles is open to anybody, whatever your perspective as far as an organized or non-organized religion, or even as an atheist or agnostic. It makes no difference. The book itself, for those of you who are uncomfortable with it, is based on a Christian reality, but I find, and all the other people who have gone, but it doesn't have to be that. If you're willing to feel comfortable with the words like Jesus and God, it can still make considerable sense for those of you who are more along the lines of feeling the universe itself is your higher power. For myself personally, I don't have a deitized God, though I do believe in a higher power. But my whole perspective, and you might have pick that up, is that we are as spirit and God is as spirit energy. Not a human being, but an energy that I couldn't define, because I have to admit that I'm still learning what love really is, but the energy of love, of joy, of peace, of positiveness versus the energy of fear. I mean, there's an energy to love and an energy to fear, and that's what it comes down to for me. So I actually personally tend to agree with that. And you can find that in the Course, because it does carry the perspective that we're not bodies, and whatever you want us to be, that's fine. Again, because it's very open and you can learn from it, no matter what your personal preference is in a faith.
When you're doing a meditation, have there ever been times where you're doing it for yourself, you're not doing it as a public thing? Have you ever had times where one leg of a meditation, like you're looking at the 4 elements or maybe a few extras, and all of a sudden you stick on one particular thing out of the blue, you suddenly get this feeling that maybe it's really important to link with the idea of plants and roots and photosynthesis and so on. Have you ever had the wheel not move as this nice, orderly little circle? Because we don't like to be orderly. Life. Have you ever had a meditation stick on one spoke of the wheel?
If I understand what you're asking me, then yes, because there is no expectation to meditation. You get what you get. And that's where that's at. Meditation is not a formal, organized, focused thing that you follow this path and that's going to happen. Meditation is, and again, I could relate this to the Course in Miracles, finding a way to be in the now, because the past doesn't exist anymore, and yet we hang on to it and we make judgments by it, and a lot of our fear comes from our past. On the other hand, the future doesn't exist either, and we're constantly trying to predict it with solutions. oh, if I do this, maybe that'll work. If I do this, that'll work. The answer really is to be now and live life, and what you need will come to you. That's, for me, that's what it is. Maybe that last part doesn't apply to everybody, but, and I find the more I study the Course, and I've been studying it a long time, the more content I am, which is my definition of happy, the more peaceful I feel, and the more able I am to hold the energy of love rather than fear. That doesn't mean, obviously, I'm perfect at it, because I'm way not. But compared to where I was 20 years ago, I am doing so much better in life and can do better in life on a day-to-day basis. Just being able to live and not be in so much fear and judgment. So, no, meditation isn't, meditation is whatever you end up coming out of it for yourself. Anybody else?
I don't need the microphone. Yeah, I'll try.
Take your mask off.
For the record. Okay, never mind. Should I have read the Course in Miracles fully before coming to?
Absolutely
No? Cool.
not. No.
Thank you.
And the thing is you'll start where we start, and it really doesn't matter. You can catch up right where we are, and any questions you have, we'll explain. There are some basics that kind of helps understand, but really the Course of Miracles is each individual's path. So what I read and get from it could be totally different from you, and that's totally okay. Again, no judgment, no analysis. You don't think this way, so you're going to hell at all. Sorry, we don't do that. We just are there to help each other, and there's no, we believe in the process. Some other churches don't do this way of doing it yourself. So we read amongst each other, and we talk about what it means to us, and either you get it or you don't. Like, it's taken me a long time to sometimes understand what this actually means for me, and other things you get right away, but it doesn't matter. It's just a matter of just living the Course. That's what it's about for you and what that means.
Awesome, thank you. I'll email you about that.
Okay. Pat. Down here.
Sure, we'll take one.
This is a comment, and I apologize, but I wanted to share it. When you said, feel the energy of the plant, that I'd never heard that. And I'm going to try that. I'm going to walk around my yard and feel the energy of all my plants.
Well, you know, Doug does that. I mean, that's how
Yes,
he
I
relates.
do.
That's how he relates and makes such a beautiful garden. Those of you who will come to the drumming circle, this is Pat, and it's going to be at her house. So please see her if you're interested. But absolutely, there's energy in all things, and that's what connects us.
Yes. Okay.
Even this pulpit right here was made with the forest who had energy. So, and there are molecules, and there are noticeable energy in all life. And that is the thing that connects us. It's the one thing we have in common.
The thing that I did want to share that I love is that when you see a flower or something that's beautiful, it's a very,
Anybody else?
So I know someone who meditated, and he was new to it. And he said that he meditated for like 3 hours straight. And at the end of it, he saw like a ghostly figure, and he's now scared to meditate.
That probably was some energy of something. The other thing is, and it's not how long you meditate. One of the things that I have been taught recently that I didn't think about is I have back issues. Some of the other people here who have moved on in life also have that, is a 1-minute meditation, because stress is one of those things that totally impacts your health and your pain. And so if you are somewhere and you find yourself getting stretched, do a 1-minute breathing meditation. And just all that by itself, you will find yourself relaxing, and you will find your stress dissipating. And this is from a certified psychologist at Kaiser. So meditation, in fact, produces endorphins, and it produces 33% more endorphins than morphine does, which is a duplicate of endorphins. So meditate. What can I say?
Thank you. I think we have time for one more question. I want to claim the last question.
Actually, I wanted to share something. Probably about 10 years after we were studying the Course of Miracles, probably for about, excuse me, about 10 years of doing it, meeting weekly and meditating and studying, and utilizing in small ways in my life. I had, the universe gave me an opportunity, a challenge. I was, I'm a retired teacher. I was a union representative at the time, and we had a principal that was completely incompetent, and basically the school district relieved her of her duties. But she sued. She was a person of color, and she sued for sexual discrimination. And I got called as the chief primary witness as the union rep. I had to go in. I was in court on the stand for the entire day, and being vilified by her lawyer as a racist. And it was extremely difficult for me. And towards the end, after we had a recess and I had to come back and get back on the stand again, I used the Course in Miracles. And what I did was I put a bright light visually around myself, which was the universe, God. And I slowly put it out, made it radiate out farther and to encompass other people that were there. And I came just as it butted up against the principal and her lawyer, and I had to make a decision. And because of the Course of Miracles, I made that decision to embrace and pull in both her and her lawyer into this circle of love and kindness. And I was able to get through the rest of the time. And that, I didn't think I was going to be able to. I was exhausted after the whole day. But because of the Course in Miracles and what we had learned, I was able to do that and put it into practice, and it made all the difference. So again, I can't describe it exactly, define it, but certainly can experience it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, you all take your light with you and have a good day.